Hello everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. We're going to dive right in. This is just a go-to makeup look for me featuring some summer makeup favorites. I want to do maybe like a bigger, like on a larger scale, a summer makeup favorites video where I show you the old things that I'm still loving and the new things that I've discovered this year. But today I'm just going to be applying a small fraction of that on my face. I'm just really into thin textures that look really nice in natural daylight. I don't mind looking shiny. I feel like 2019 is the year that I'm finally just embracing the glow, and you know what? I have combination oily skin. I'm just going to roll with it. I'm going to talk you through some cream products that actually do work well on combination oily skin. Also wanted to talk about sunscreen really quick. I think it's really difficult to find a sunscreen formula that you want to use every single day. A formula that looks good under makeup, that doesn't pill or roll. And if you're somebody with acne prone skin like I am, a lot of sunscreens can cause congestion and bumps and breakouts. So I thought I would share with you my current favorite 3 sunscreens that I wear under makeup. One of my Instagram followers kindly sent this to me, and it also pains me because this is only available in Australia. It's a blessing and a curse because this is the best sunscreen. It's the Mecca to Save Face SPF 50 Superscreen. This is what I use today, and it's fantastic. So if you're ever heading to Australia, or if you're in Australia and New Zealand, I'm sure you've tried this, but this is an awesome SPF. I also really like these two. These two are physical sunscreens. The Mecca one is a chemical sunscreen. So if you are in the United States and Canada and you're looking for a physical sunscreen that wears well under makeup and that does not leave a white cast, the SkinCeuticals Physical Fusion UV Defense SPF 50 is the best that I have found. It is so lightweight. It does have a tint, but the tint doesn't give you any coverage whatsoever. It's just enough to get rid of the white cast. I did try the Sheer Fusion physical sunscreen by SkinCeuticals, and I did not like that one at all because that one left a very pronounced white cast. This one doesn't. As you can see, like the tint is really not. It's no coverage, and the texture is just phenomenal. Never interferes with makeup. This is a fantastic physical sunscreen. If you are very oily and you want a bit more oil control, the Tatcha sunscreen is really good. I think it's called the Silken Pore Refining Sunscreen. That one has physical and chemical sunscreen filters in it. That one is really, really great at oil control as well. It's like an oil control primer and SPF in one. And then there's this. The brand is called Sundaze. This is the Seashells Daily Sunscreen. This is again 100% mineral sunscreen. It just contains zinc oxide. This is SPF 30. This is a really nice everyday sunscreen to use year round. This does have a tiny bit of a white cast to it, so I think if you're somebody with a deeper skin tone, you might experience some white cast. The texture is incredible. It's really, really moisturizing, but not heavy at all. And the white cast is not that bad. Like it's definitely workable. It's emollient, but not greasy at all. They only do sunscreen at this time, so highly recommend checking them out. I don't think they ship outside of the United States, but if you are based in the United States and you want to check it out, this is very, very nice. Another sunscreen that I really enjoyed was by Canadian brand Indeed Labs. They have one called In Defense 30. That one again is a combination sunscreen. It's physical and chemical. That one is really nice as well if you're somebody with slightly drier skin. That one felt really nice and moisturizing. I was actually using that in the winter. So yeah, that's my sunscreen PSA ended. Let's get on to the makeup. Going to do just a little bit of the Burberry Fresh Glow on my cheekbones. Just want to do some glow from within type of thing. I'm trying to use this up because if I use this up, I want to try the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter next. This is really pretty, and I am living in constant panic that the Burberry Beauty line is going to be discontinued. It's getting harder and harder to find. I don't know if they're having like distribution issues. I know the makeup artist Wendy Rowe used to be like their creative director, and I don't think she works for Burberry Beauty anymore. Ever since they reformulated their lipsticks and got rid of the really, really strong rose scent, they've been phenomenal. So if you find yourself at a Burberry counter scouting some leftover products, definitely check out their blushes, check out their eyeshadows and their lipsticks, especially the Lip Velvet Crushes. Oh my god, they're so good. So yeah, and the Fresh Glow is an amazing luminous primer for somebody with oily combination skin because it's water-based and it's not greasy. It will not make you more oily. It will just make you look lit from within, which is what we all want, right? All right, so for foundation, I'm using Dior Face and Body. This has remained one of my favorite foundations, especially for summertime. It just does the job for me. And I'm sorry if I'm looking that way. I just so I can see what I'm doing. This is a bit too dark for me, and I have not had time to fake tan or anything, but I am going to be using a lighter concealer just through the center of my face to kind of even things out, to make things look a bit more blended. And for that, I'm going to use the Touche Eclat High Cover Concealer from YSL. This is new. I have this in the shade 1.5. It is so beautiful and undetectable under the eyes. I wouldn't call this a full coverage concealer, but it's definitely a medium coverage, and it just has such a beautiful texture. The only problem I have with this is that it settles in my fine lines on this side of my eye. But because I have this in a brighter shade, I have this in the shade 1.5, which is the same shade that I use in the traditional Touche Eclat. Because I have this in a brighter shade, I use this just as a brightening concealer, just in the inner corner of my eye where I get the most darkness. And then I'm also going to dot this along the center of my face. It gives really nice coverage while truly looking undetectable. It looks like skin. It doesn't look heavy, it doesn't look cakey at all. But sometimes for the areas of my under eye area that have more fine lines, I find that a thicker formula is almost like plaster. It will kind of like sink into the lines and actually kind of fill them out. Whereas this is so thin that I think that's why it kind of like catches in those areas. But when I'm using a thicker concealer, like the Too Faced Born This Way, I don't have that much of an issue with creasing, just because I think that the Born This Way formula is a bit thicker, so it kind of fills in the lines. I'm going to set my under eye area, just using the Becca under eye setting powder and this Hakuhodo brush. This is the B5521 brush. I initially bought this to use for powder highlight, but I've been in a cream highlighter binge, so I have not been using this for highlighter. So I thought, hey, why don't I just use this for my under eye powder? And it's been working really nice. I am going to go in with some cream cheek products next, using the Clarins SOS Bronzing Primer. And I'm sure I did a video of how I used this last year, but in case you missed it, in case you picked it up this year, because this was limited edition, but it's back this summer. I like to use this Real Techniques buffing brush. I don't think you can buy this separately. This came in like a face set, and it's very old, but I'm sure you can find something similar. Real Techniques blending buffing brushes, they're just so great for cream products. e.l.f. makes really nice dual fiber brushes for powders as well. So I'm just gonna like stipple it on and kind of use circular motions to get an even coverage, but I don't do any wiping or dragging, because if I wipe or drag, I will move the product that I have underneath. So if I just do little stippling motions, I will apply the pigment without disturbing whatever is underneath. And I really love the smell of this. It kind of smells like peaches to me. But not like, it's not like the Too Faced peach scent. It's like a clean breeze and a hint of peach in there. I really like the scent. And then I take my beauty blender, and there's gonna be some residual foundation on there, which is actually great because we will use whatever's left over, like that residual foundation, to just kind of blend in any rough edges. We just want to look really naturally sun-kissed, you know what I mean? I have a love and hate relationship with this product. It's the Glow To Go Blush and Highlighter Duo. I have this in the color Glow Peach, and it's a stick thing, similar, like Tom Ford did something like this. They did like a blush highlighter stick last year or 2 years ago. So you have a blush on one end, and then they say it's a highlighter on the other, but it doesn't work well as a highlighter. It doesn't work well as a bronzer either. Like, I find it really patchy when I apply this on the cheek. and it's also not impactful enough to be a highlighter. Even on deeper skin tones, I just think that there are so many other cream to liquid highlighters on the market that just do a much better job than this. This is just a very lackluster product. So I feel like the bronzing, highlighting end of this stick is a missed opportunity. If this was a matte cream color or more of a translucent emollient highlighter like those Chanel sticks, something that's more transparent so that it can work with a multitude of different skin tones, but just natural glow, or give me a really impactful glow. This is just like neither here nor there. So I don't like to use this on my cheeks. It does make a nice eyeshadow though, so I'm gonna use it as eyeshadow when we get on to the eyeshadow portion. But I really love the blush color. The blush color is this gorgeous peach color. It's such a gorgeous peach, and the blush texture is, it's almost like a cream to powder. So it's a texture that is great if you're somebody with more oily combination skin. I think if you have more dry skin, you will not be into this. I think a more emollient formula will be more suitable, but this is nice for my skin type. I feel like it kind of adheres to the skin really well. It doesn't feel tacky at all. It tends to last long, like the pigment actually lasts all day. So that's that product. I'm going to take this Real Techniques, the Multitask Cheek Brush, and I'm just going to swipe it across the top of the product, get a nice amount of product on there, and just very gently stipple it on the apples of my cheeks. Again, I'm using just a stippling motion, kind of going in a circle. No wiping, no dragging. And then whatever I've left over, I always like to dot it across the top of my nose. I always like to go over with my beauty blender whenever I'm using cream products, just to kind of marry everything together. I do want a bit more of an impactful bronze, just like a little bit of bronzer, like a bronzer contour situation. So I'm going to use this Bare Minerals Invisible Bronzer in the shade Tan. This is a bronzer that I only like to use in the summertime. It is a very beautiful, intense bronze, and I really like the tone of this bronzer. I like to call it like a sculpting bronzer because it definitely looks a bit like a shadow as well. So I like to just use a very light hand and use it just to kind of sculpt my face. For the eyes, I'm going to go in with the little bronzing stick from that Clarins blush, and I'm going to use it as an eyeshadow. This actually makes a really nice bronzy eyeshadow. Won't crease right away either. It actually performs really nicely as an eyeshadow. I wore this on my eyes all day yesterday and it looked really, really nice. I like to kind of deposit the bulk of the pigment on my actual eyelid, and then I just take a brush through the crease and just blend upwards. I'm going to take this Roen palette, which you know I love. This is the 75 degree palette, and I'm going to dip it into this stunning warm color right here. I mean, they're all stunning and warm, but this is like the warmest one, and I'm just using that on my eyelid. A little bit of this darker color from the Roen palette, and I'm going to use that underneath, like a little bit of a lower lash line liner. I'm using the Marc Jacobs Velvet Lash Primer and the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, which I like. Can't say that I'm going to run out and repurchase, to be honest. I'm just as happy with, L'Oreal Lash Paradise. It's hard, and I was talking to my friend about it actually. It's really hard to stay loyal to a particular high-end mascara when there are so many great mascaras at the drugstore. All right, so my camera died. I don't even remember where I left off. I was doing my lip liner. I did my eyebrows. I used the Hourglass Arch Brow Pencil, and yeah, I'm gonna finish my lip liner. I am using Lancome Bronzelle, which is one of my favorite lip liners, and I was just thinking that Lisa D1 has the best lip liner recommendations. I will go and buy her lip liner recommendations blind, and I know that they'll end up working out for me. She has been talking about this for years. This has been a favorite of mine for a long time. Lancome Natural Mauve is another great lip liner as well. That one looks really good with nude pink lips. This looks good with coral and brighter lipsticks as well, just to kind of give them a nude touch. All right, so we have the lip liner. Then I'm going to fill in the rest of my lips with the NARS Satin Lip Pencil in the color Lodhi. And I just want a light touch of this. So I apply a little bit and I blend with my finger, just to kind of give it more of a lived-in look. Just a little kick of brightness. This Lancome Mademoiselle Shine lipstick in the color Mademoiselle stands out. I'm just gonna do just a tiny bit of it. I've just really been into layering, to be honest, and this lip formula, if you're looking for a balmy, sheer but not too sheer, this is definitely like a sheer but buildable type of color. Dare I say this is better than the YSL Rouge Volupte Shines and the Tintin Bombs. I actually even like this better than the Dior Addicts. It's along those lines, but even better because it's actually even more moisturizing. This has a bit more of a balmy element to it. This color is really nice and bright, looks good with a nude lip liner as well, more sheared out. Yeah, I really like it. The only thing that you might not be crazy about is the rose scent. This does have a rose scent to it, but it's very subtle. It's not an in-your-face strong rose scent. I can live with this, and the texture is just incredible. So yeah, that's the finished look. I do have a little special guest. Hi Pepper. You're being such a good girl. Sometimes I look at her and I cry just because she's so cute and I love her so much. And yeah, just wanted to say hello. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Let me know what you're up to this long weekend. I hope you're having a great long weekend, whether you're celebrating Canada Day or whether you're celebrating 4th of July early. Have an awesome long weekend, and I will see you soon with more videos. Yeah.